there. My name is Avil Beckford, and I'm the host of the One Problem podcast. We know that there are tons of problems in the world, but why get overwhelmed? We're going to tackle them one problem at a time. Most of the people who come on as guests have some prior relationship with them. I met Diane Armitage, let's see, a few weeks ago, and someone referred her to me or referred me to her. So we had a chat and I thought she would be a perfect guest to be on here. Now, when you take a look at her LinkedIn profile, you'll notice that she wears many hats. So Diane Armitage is a coach, many different kinds of coaching, and she's also a marketing strategist and consultant. Over to you, Diane.
Thank you. So you know how you really want that thing in your life. You know, the transformation, the better, the change, the big goal or dream achieved, but you just can't figure out how to make it work. It looms over you like some kind of Chewbacca Wookiee, and every time you take a move or take action on it, it just, poof, slaps you down. Well, I will help you solve that today. I'm telling you the biggest story ever and the biggest leap I took when I was working with Bob Proctor as his co-writer, and he just wouldn't let me wiggle out of this. Now, I worked with Bob Proctor, writing with him day in and day out for 27 years. And because he never let me back down on my dreams, I learned how to create an exceedingly magical life for myself. Now it's your turn. So I'd been brought out to California for a big website company that needed a big fix. I was down in Carlsbad, which is about 45 minutes from Laguna Beach. And in about 8 months, I got the website figured out. It was fixed. I was missing my entrepreneurial world, so I turned in my resignation there. And after packing up my office, I called Bob on the way home. He knew that I was going to be doing this. And I said, hey, I did it. Today was my last day. I'm so excited. Now I can spend more time working with you. And he said, that's great. Are you moving back to Denver? And I said, I don't really feel like Denver right now. And he said, well, where do you want to be? And I said, anywhere in the world? And he said, yeah. Where do you want to live? And I said, well, I really want to move to Laguna Beach, but it's so expensive. And as soon as I said that, I knew I was in trouble. Long pointed silence. And finally, Bob says, Diane, not my nickname Di, but the formal name Diane. He says, how far is Laguna Beach from where you are right now? And I said, oh, it's about 45 minutes away. It's way up that way. And he says, I want you to drive there right now. And I said, today? And he says, well, you don't have anything else to do. You don't even have a job. And I said, good point. He said, I want you to drive there and I want you to take out a post office box and start forwarding your mail today. And I said, today? He said, yes, I want you to do it today. Don't go home to your house. Just drive up there right now, get it done, and call me when you're done. And I was terrified. But I said, okay, Bob, because, well, that's what you said to Bob Proctor. So I did. I drove up to Laguna Beach. I found a place with mailboxes. I started forwarding my mail. And all the while I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got several weeks at least because, well, you know how long it takes for the post office to forward your mail. So I called Bob on the way back down and I said, okay, I said, I'm done. I did it. And he said, well, what are you going to do now? And I said, and he says, I have an idea. Of course he had an idea. He says, why don't you go get some packing boxes and start packing your stuff? And I said, now? And he says, didn't you quit your job today? You've got plenty of time on your hands. So I said, okay, Bob. And he says, and I don't want you to start with the stuff that doesn't matter, like the candles in the living room. I want you to pack your kitchen and your office first. Well, a few days went by, and out of nowhere, seriously, I got this email. And it didn't belong to anybody I knew. It didn't belong to anybody that had forwarded it to me either. It just showed up. It was a woman in Laguna Beach. She and her husband had just renovated a cottage, and they had it up for rent. My dog Merlin and I moved there 10 days later. We arrived in Laguna Beach before the mail began forwarding. Now, I'm not going to say that's how quickly a lot of things will work for you, but I've got to tell you, when you make the commitment and say, okay, I'm taking this one step, I'm going to make this thing happen, you will be surprised at how quickly things start to come into play. The key here to solving the problem of that thing never coming into your stratosphere is to act. And the crazier the act, the better. The more you can put yourself in that place of where you want to be, whatever that be is, for you, that's where you want to take the action. Why does this work? Well, first, it indicates a commitment from you to the universe, to God, to infinite intelligence, to all the guides and angels around you. Whatever you choose to call it, you're putting out a definitive vibrational energy. And this is an energetic universe that responds in kind. Second, it indicates expectancy and assumption. You want to have an expectant spirit about whatever it is that you've decided for this big goal. Whatever this big step is that you decide to take, you really want to feel expectant about it, like it could turn for you at any moment. What can you do to prepare? In my case, start packing boxes now. And then it's surrender. This is the key. While you're preparing, while you're taking action, you're surrendering it. You're not even worried. You just work from the assumptive space that it's already done. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill wrote that the moment you commit and quit holding back, all sorts of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance rise up to help you. The simple act of commitment is a powerful magnet for help. This is what Bob taught me time and time again. Taking what looks like a big leap to you merely states to all the power and energy around you that you're expecting a response. Back to you, Avil.
Oh my God, this is such a good story. The listeners are gonna love it.
It was crazy, and it was only one of many crazy things that happened in my work with Bob.
So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And a pleasure being here.